Hello, I'm Leah Cheatham. I am your instructor for the Social Work 501 course, Advanced Policy Analysis. I am so excited to have the opportunity to work with you guys this fall in this course online. I won't take too much of your time here. I don't want to have this become an overwhelming intro lecture. I just wanted to give a quick overview of the way our course will run, let you know of a few different things, kind of orient you to the Blackboard course site, as well as how you might be able to reach out to me if you need to. So first of all, take a moment to look over both of the syllabi. We have one that's focusing on children, adolescents, and their families, and one that's targeted to those of you who are an adult in their family track. So you can choose whichever applies to you. They're largely similar, but some of the course objectives are slightly different. And we'll do our best to speak to both of those different populations, and some of this is going to be guided by your own interests. If you have a specific population that you're interested in, clearly you can target those specific policies in some of your course assignments. So that's the fun thing about policy. You can kind of make it your own in terms of what you focus on, and I will work with you however you like to try to do that. I'm excited to have this be whatever you need it to be to move your education forward. So take a moment to look over those different syllabi. And also we have the course schedule up there. It's listed as well in the syllabus, but it doesn't have the due dates along with it. So if you take a moment to look over the course schedule, that's our Bible in terms of how we're operating this fall. I have the discussion board posts listed on there, as well as the 5 assignments that we'll be working on. Just to kind of help you understand the distinction between the discussion boards and the assignments, the way that we'll do the discussion boards is they'll open a week before the discussion board is due with the Blackboard website. So you'll be able to see those at least a week out. You'll have a week to work on it and post throughout the week, hopefully. I know that it's sometimes challenging when people wait until, if they close, at a certain evening. I think ours are closing on Wednesday evening. There tends to be a big flurry of activity right as the discussion board's closing, but there's also a requirement to respond to 2 of your peers, typically as part of the assignment. There are some exceptions to that, but for the most part, we do want to see that you guys are having a chance to interact with one another and kind of discuss these ideas. That's really the goal of the discussion board. So ideally, if you can try to make your initial post before the deadline, a day or so out at least, to give people an opportunity to go in there and kind of read over people's posts and to have a chance to give some thought to them prior to responding. That would be really helpful. So those are the discussion boards. I have a rubric by which I'll evaluate those discussion posts. Sometimes I'll weigh in here or there. I've in the past tried to respond to each person's discussion post in addition to providing detailed written feedback on these assignments, but for such a large class, we have 25 right now in the course, it might be a bit more sporadic in terms of the discussion boards, but if I, assign you a grade that you feel unsure about or you don't feel was necessarily just, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm not opposed to interacting about the grading on these discussion boards. I will assign you a grade based on that rubric, and I'll try to, figure out a way to send you guys that rubric so you'll see where you fell in each specific domain. But if you have questions about that week's discussion or, anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll try to provide some kind of general feedback for the discussion boards, wrapping up some people's comments, but I won't be providing specific detailed feedback on each person's discussion post. I will, however, do individualized feedback for the assignments. We have 5 discussion posts throughout the semester and 5 assignments. I think that will give us an opportunity to work specifically one-on-one with regard to your interests, whereas the discussion is more of a class discussion and will operate as such. So please take a look at the deadlines on the class schedule. If you have any concerns or that certain deadlines are going to be challenging for you, please feel free to reach out to me sooner than later. The more time we have to kind of figure out how to navigate that is better. What else? If you need anything throughout the course, if you have concerns about the content, you have concerns about deadlines, you missed a deadline, and you need to try to talk with me about how to, best address that going forward, please don't hesitate to reach out. I've listed my cell phone number in the syllabus. I'm happy for you all to reach out any time of day. I'll likely only respond between, roughly 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of downtime. But Um, Rather than just calling, I think the best way to get in touch with me, the most reliable way to get in touch with me, is to shoot me a text. And that way I'll know who you are, and you can say, hey, I'm in Social Work 501, and I'll say, oh, great, I want to talk to you. Whereas if you just call me and I don't recognize the number, I get a lot of junk calls, so I typically ignore those. But if I know you're calling and you shoot me a text ahead of time, we can just start the conversation there. We can talk by phone, we can speak by text, whichever is easier. So please don't hesitate to use that cell phone number. I put it in there because I'm happy for you all to contact me that way. However, if it's not time sensitive and it's just a question, you want to shoot me an email, please do that through the Blackboard website. I'll do my very best to be checking that Blackboard website at least every 48 hours, if not more often. And I can respond to any not time sensitive inquiries there. But I think that covers most of what we need to discuss. Oh, one other little interesting quirk to our Blackboard website. When you go through all of the different learning modules for those 8 different modules, you'll see some of the modules have lectures attached to them. Those lectures won't be me, which I think is kind of strange, maybe. But just think of it as a guest speaker. So these courses have been developed over time and are approved by the full faculty, so they leave that course content the same, and I will be your tour guide through this course and your consultant to help when things don't make sense, or to explain things further if you need additional clarity. So think of me as your tour guide through Social Work 501. I will be happy to be as involved as you like me to be. I'm here as a resource for you guys, so please don't hesitate to reach out. And I'm really excited about this semester. All right, take care. Bye.